Okay, just want to give a video overview of what I'm seeing on the roof. I'm re-recording this because my other one didn't record everything, but so we're on top of the roof here. I wanted to point out down there, we can see that there's two box vents, those two metal vents, but then also across that ridge is also a ridge vent. So you never want to mix two ventilation types, two exhaust vents. What you'd like to do is just take those box vents out, fill those holes, and let this just be the ridge vent, and let that be the exhaust. Whenever you have two different kinds, it makes it less efficient. You know, all that airflow that comes in underneath your soffits, so down there the gutter lines underneath, airflow comes in, fresh air comes in, and it goes up, pushes out, and exhausts out this top. But if we have holes here, it makes it a little less efficient. And then coming up here, we can see these are, looks like newer ridge vents everywhere, over there, up here. Also too, when we come back here, kind of the same thing. We've got a power fan. This is for an exhaust ventilation as well. What we'd like to do, just use the ridge vent here, you know, fill this power fan, remove that, take that out, and then just have the ridge vent. You've got a nice big long ridge, it can vent it properly. So some of the issues I see, we've got previous repairs over here, these three right here. Obviously, you know, the roof is old. We see it's got heavy granule loss, all the black splotches on the roof here. Shingles are unsealed, and so what happened, I'm sure, is that wind got up under here, blew these shingles out. You know, we can see like some of these shingles, they're unsealed. So this is just the start of, once wind can catch up under there, you get a strong enough gust of wind, it can damage and blow these out. We've got exposed nails here, rusted out. Water's been getting in there. Water's making its way through nails. Also here, we can kind of see, same thing. Whenever there's rusted nails, we know for sure that water's getting into the roof because it's rusting down. It's deteriorating that nail, making that nail actually smaller than the hole, and then water is getting its way in. So this side doesn't look too bad, but same thing here. We can see these nails, they're rusted. You just pull it right out. All right, so water is finding its way into this hole right here. These are all rusted because they never caulked over these and sealed these off. These shingles are unsealed, just like up top, you know. Again, you want the shingles to be sealed. This way it protects the nails. Water's not making its way up. It's not blowing the shingles off. We come up here, there's a couple more things. So that got a couple more patches right here, over here. Chimney flashing down there looks pretty good, looks newer. Same thing here, rusted nail heads. 1, 2, 3, 4. Water's just making its way in. These are called plumbing collars, pipe jack collars. So these have a sealant, a gasket kind of goes around here, seals this off. This is deteriorated. So this is just a hole right into the attic space. All three of these plumbing collars are the same way. These ones here and here, same thing. When we look here, it's just old, been here a long time. Water can just make its way right in. Same thing down here. Exposed nails, not caulked. Again, this is moving. This is kind of how it seals off, but this is just broken down over time. Water's just making its way in. We've got more exposed nails down here. So the other thing I want to point out here, the roof. So when we install a roof, we always use a metal drip edge. It goes along the edges here. So it goes along, this is an eave where your gutters are. This edge is the eave. This is called a rake. So we always install, and the way we do it, first thing we do, we put drip edge down along this eave. Then, like this is ice and water shield. We would install ice and water shield. This ice and water shield is a self-adhering membrane, helps with ice damming, but also the really big thing about it is it's self-healing. So when these are nailed in, this membrane seals around that nail head, so water's not making its way in. But so you do that, then underneath, after the ice and water shield, then underneath that, there's a synthetic felt underlayment that goes up. But then afterwards, we would install drip edge along the rake edge. The reason for that is that that seals off, it goes over top of the underlayment when it's installed here. So this way, if water does find its way and make its way in, let's say, like here, water can make its way in, it's making it to these nails, it can roll down, make its way to the nails. But if we have the drip edge here, it'll help keep from water getting in this right here. It would go onto that underlayment. The underlayment then is overlapped going down, makes its way down, finds its way to the gutter. And also too, we would use a starter strip along this edge. What that starter strip does, it keeps a nice clean straight edge, but also it has a sealant, a thick adhesive here, kind of like this, and it goes along the edge. We put them down this eave and also up the rake so that it seals off this edge. So this edge, these are the most vulnerable spots for wind and water getting in, because you have a strong rain coming in. If it's not sealed, it can make its way in right through here. But if you have that starter strip sealing those shingles down, they're not lifting up. Just like here, these are just lifting up. Now this is because it's old, and these starter strip, well, I don't even think, well no, they didn't even use a starter strip. What they did is they just flipped over a shingle. So this is a shingle. So there's no starter strip down here where you want it to seal off the edge. They just used a shingle, flipped it over, instead of just spending the extra money and buying a starter strip and going down. Gutters are old, you know, they're dented up. You can kind of see they're dinged up. I would probably replace them along with the roof. The roof's at the end of its life, in my opinion, but I just wanted to give kind of an overview and walk the roof. Just want to show, like, there's more spots here where we've got unsealed shingles. As we come up here, we've got shingles lifted up, so water can get right up under there. And like I said, you want them to be sealed down. And you got more here, here. So, anyways, I just wanted to give you a quick overview of the roof itself, the things I'm seeing, the current issues, you know, and how we would fix them. So, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video now.